Hi, how you doing?
Oh, not so bad. You?
Not bad at all. How can I help you?
Well, I'd just like to hear a little bit more. I've watched all kinds of different little videos you put on and really like to kind of change the way I do things.
Well, tell me
Um,
what you've been doing.
well, I started as a contractor back in July. I've been in construction since '96 and been doing my own thing now. It's hard to actually find good help and enough of it. And there's been several projects where I'm the sub, just kind of to the point. Why should I struggle being the sub when I could be running things a little differently?
Well, you said you've seen some stuff of my stuff. Tell me what you learned so far.
Well, I guess what first got me was you running your rough numbers, but different contractors, how many are federal contractors, and I can see how some don't want to go through the proper paperwork and then I don't know if it's so much a hassle. I guess people have a perspective of maybe being a hassle of doing government work. And in the past, I've worked for a couple contractors, and we did some state level jobs. And I see how people get discouraged, but I think there's money to be made. And then with some of the videos, and and I understand not everything's going to be a home run, but even just base hits, I think is just going to help me succeed a little more.
Sure.
I'm looking at all my options out there, and this is something that I'm really leaning towards trying.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. We teach guys in the construction industry, and as much as this is a phone call where you're qualifying me, I'm also qualifying you because I only offer this, into the program people that I have a pretty good feeling they'll succeed. So, we'll talk a little bit more, but in that video with Michael that my team sent to you and said, let's talk about the economy, and I show the graph up there, and then I talk about the 200 square foot tiny house and
Hmm.
the four options you have when the government calls you to offer you an award. Did you get through all that?
Yep, I've seen those.
Okay. So I just tell people that at this point in my career, people only call me for two reasons. Number one, they have questions about federal contracts, or number two, they have problems on federal contracts. Nobody calls me up saying I'm making 100 grand today. They don't need me for that.
Sure.
So I'm imagining you've got some questions. So hit me.
Well, there's a few. Far as down the road, what do like what do they look for when they're trying to I, so submit a bid
Yeah,
and they review everything. Me only being in business less than a year, is this something that is possible?
of course. It happens all the time. Joe Paytax is probably a good example. I'm recording this and I'll send you a copy of it when we're done. But you just go to GCExperts.com/Joe, Joe. He got the
Okay.
fifth bid he ever bid, and his company was brand new. There's a in that video that I had you watch with Federal Acquisition Regulation 13.004A, there's another FAR called 15.305. And in that FAR, it levels the playing field between new guys and old guys because the government understands that new people are coming into the construction business for the federal government all the time. And so you can't just have all incumbents or you'd never get new people in the business. So,
Sure.
so yeah, that's not a problem at all.
No, okay. And then with that, first being a general, and is it an issue starting out with coming up with bonding,
So
with their
I've had
requirements?
multiple conversations over the years with my bonding agent. I have a bonding guy that I hook all my guys up with, and basically, it came down to one thing. I don't need to know your number. I just need to know if your credit score is above 500 or less than 500,
Above.
and we can get you bonded.
Okay. Okay. Those are some of the few questions, and that was the big one. I mean, I didn't want to waste anybody's time if I wasn't going to be able to move forward with this. So that was one of the main purposes for scheduling a meeting, and
Well,
then
I'll
you
just
said
tell
that
you
you
this.
qualified.
I've got a 100% money back guarantee, and if you watch any of my videos, you get a sense of for who I am and what I stand for. And I would never want somebody's money that didn't feel like they got what they paid for. And if this is the route you want to go, there's a lot of evidence that we help guys like you get federal contracts. We do it all the time, every day.
Sure, and like I said, I'm really really leaning towards giving this a go. And yeah, and I've seen where you give your money back guarantee, and then another thing, watching all your videos and the way you talk, and to me, it seemed like a real person, because most people that sit there and just cuss away, and that, to me, those are real people, and not being all prim and proper and trying to tiptoe around shit.
No, that's not me, and I don't stand for that shit because I've been a contractor for 30 years. I mean, people are always trying to blow smoke up contractors' asses, and I just, that's why you're not talking to a salesperson. You're talking to me.
Sure, and I've reached out to some of these other gurus on Facebook that are offering to help contractors scale their business, and I listen to what they have to say, and they're all about trying to upsell you something.
No, and the other thing is, look, nobody can guarantee anybody a federal contract, and that's why
Sure.
I say on all my shit, A, don't give me your last $5,000 because you're probably not going to be successful if it's your last $5,000. B, don't expect that anything that I teach you is going to be get rich quick. Um, though, look, it's near 100%. If you go through my program, you do exactly what I tell you to do. You turn in, let's say, 3 bids a week for the first 2 months. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna get a federal contract. You're gonna make 20 grand on your first job. All that shit is pretty typical. But for God's sakes, you got to be doing what I tell you to do. I've got all these videos. When you go through my program and then you go into my membership program, you get a list of all these videos. And I mean, I could show them to you, but if you go through the stuff, you'll get it. But people send me bids, right? They go, okay, I'm going to turn in this bid, check my paperwork. And so I do these videos and I go, with my mouse and I say, look, change this here, make sure you add this. Here's where you get your technical proposal on the members only website. Like, I walk people through exactly how to do it. And I don't know of anybody else on the internet that can put that kind of information up, because look, we say in the workshop, you're only going to win about 1 in 20 that you turn in. So, if we did 1,000 federal contracts, we turned in 20,000 bids. So, and it's not like it takes an hour or 2 hours or 5 hours to turn a bid. It takes 15, 20 minutes. That's why I say, start off doing 2 or 3 a week and just get them in. Because on an RFQ, what's the risk?
Sure.
It's zero. The risk is
Sure.
zero because you can withdraw, you can accept, you can negotiate, and you can stall for more time. If you can withdraw every bid you ever turned in, what risk are you at? Nothing. And so anyway, we've got a process for all this, and if you want to go this route, I'm your guy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Not it. Scared money don't make money. So just not that I'm ready to pull the trigger right now, but I like to do my due diligence and research on things before
Well,
I jump
sure.
in something.
That's why I tell people, look, the federal government has been here 200 years. It'll be here 200 more. I've been teaching this stuff for 10 years. I'll be teaching it for 10 more years. You're never going to hear from me if you buy now. If the opportunity is good today, it's good 6 months from now. You're never going to get any pressure from me. Fuck, they're spending $1 billion a day. When you decide to come into the cycle, is meaningless.
Sure. And be kind of exciting to get some money back out of the government, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Um, then so if somebody does have a question, walk through their bids when they're first learning this stuff, um, typically, because I would really think that you're a pretty busy guy, talking to
I'm
a lot of
not.
people.
After this phone
No,
call, I'm thinking about taking a nap and then going drinking beer and eating some tacos with my wife.
not
That's what I'm
nice.
doing today.
That's it's a nice schedule. Um, those those are really kind of my main questions, and the first one was about being new, and then bonding.
Yeah, just test me randomly. Send me a text and watch how fast you get responded to. And I guarantee it's me.
Okay. Um, any other questions you have for me?
Nope. If you're in the construction industry and you understand vocabulary such as how many square of roofing, how many cubic yards of concrete,
Mhm.
Schedule 40 PVC, Schedule 80 PVC, black pipe, copper pipe, framing, if you understand all those words, that's all you need to get into my shit.
Okay. And now, are any of these guys having trouble finding subcontractors and meeting deadlines because everybody's so busy and backed up?
The answer is no. I mean, look, from time to time, if I had a problem getting subcontractors to do what I told them to do, sure. Is that a major problem? No, because we're not dealing with bottom of the barrel subs. Look, the last air conditioner, 3-ton air conditioner I sold to the federal government. If you go back to the first email we sent you, we sold a 3-ton air conditioner to the federal government for $107,000. And I show
Hmm.
absolute proof that that's true, the actual award document. You can Google it and look it up. It's public information. Okay? How much does it cost to install a 3-ton air conditioner? 10 grand? I mean, I
Yeah.
subbed it out to a guy for 15 grand, but I didn't care if he charged me 7, 15, or 30.
Sure. Okay. That I can understand how money talks a little bit to get
A
some stuff
lot of
done.
it.
Hmm. Okay. Alrighty. That kind of really took care of my questions I had.
All right. Well, if you think of any more, just text me. I'm happy to answer and take your call anytime, Don.
Sure. And I like how you got all these different videos out there to watch, because that does kind of that that helps a lot. As much stuff
Good.
you put out there for people to watch.
Yeah. Well, just trying to help, man.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, Don. Have a good one.
Yep. Enjoy your beer and tacos.
Yep.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Bye bye.